Norman Huff never expected to be doing this again, getting dressed for work.
There was a point there I thought I was going to have a nervous breakdown. I finally had to go to the doctor.
Norman retired from East Ohio Gas, where he'd worked maintenance and construction for 33 years.
I went 13 years without missing a day. I worked outside every day and always tried to do what was right. That's the way I was brought up.
He had managed to save $386,000 in his company 401k. He and his wife Wilma attended a retirement seminar at the prestigious Brookside Country Club in Canton, hosted by financial advisor Michael Dobbins from Prudential.
I'm probably going to end up losing my job over this by even just coming out here and just talking to you right now. I did care about these individuals. I cared about the people.
Brookside Country Club is just a short ways from Dobbins' magnificent home, which is surrounded on 3 sides by water. The Huffs invited Dobbins to their much more modest home to discuss their future.
He's telling you, I'm going to make you a millionaire. Or, I possibly will make you millions. I mean, he had us like, oh, wow. He's Prudential, piece of the rock, from the time I was a little kid. This is a good company.
The Huffs' money was placed almost exclusively in stocks and equity-based mutual funds. Many of the investments were made in high-tech and internet companies right as the stock bubble was about to burst. In less than 3 years, the value of Norman's investments went from $386,000 to $166,000.
We stayed with him all this time, trusting him. And he wasn't looking out for our best interest, all our hopes and our dreams and what we had planned. Gone.
Mr. Dobbins, you're a hit-and-run broker. You got these people's money in, and you didn't give a damn about them afterwards.
We don't think he looked out for our best interests. Is there anything you can address about their concerns?
Actually, with the Huffs, I never met with the Huffs when they went to invest the money.
Dobbins says another financial advisor who worked with him handled the details of the Huffs' investments. But the Huffs' attorney says his clients invested with Michael Dobbins, put their faith in him, and that Dobbins was responsible for overseeing their investments.
These people are putting their life savings in the hands of the broker. That entails a lot of responsibility, and it's shirking your responsibility. He's spending his time going after other new accounts, so I guess it all comes back to greed.
In its response, Prudential denied that it or Dobbins did anything wrong. Prudential said the Huffs agreed to the strategy with full knowledge of the inherent risks. The company argued investors should not use arbitrations as a second chance to fix decisions they wish they had not made, to which in this case Zemansky says, baloney.
The broker betrayed their trust and let them down.
A panel of 3 arbiters found both Prudential and Dobbins liable and ordered trade rescission. Essentially, the Huffs got their money back. And perhaps even more significant, the arbiters made a finding of fraud against both Dobbins and Prudential.
The reason that they found fraud was that their risk tolerance was changed.
After the Huffs' investments started to fall, the risk they agreed to assume suddenly changed on their Prudential profile from moderate to moderately aggressive.
That was never mentioned. It was supposed to have been moderate.
The broker changed the profile without getting their permission and called it moderately aggressive. We believe it was to protect his legal position or cover his rear end.
So when the Huff said that the risk portfolio was changed, that wasn't you, Mr. Dobbins?
No, it was not.
We've worked for 33 years. Are we going to take this money and say, here, put us in aggressive stocks? Because we don't care what happens to it. That's not us.
Dobbins suggests someone else in the organization, not named in the suit, changed the Huff's risk tolerance. You're the one that they found with the fraud. You're the one that the arbiters voted 3-0 against. If you didn't do anything wrong, how did the arbiters find this fraud against you?
Why don't you, I would talk to Mr. Rasnick about that.
Attorney John Rasnick did not return our call. The Huffs aren't the only retirees in northern Ohio who feel taken by brokers. All these people attended a meeting put on by Zemansky and Columbus lawyer David Meyer. Zemansky says he's written and spoken to Ohio Attorney General Jim Petro about launching an investigation.
I'm disappointed in the response from the New York Stock Exchange. These are New York Stock Exchange companies from the state of Ohio. I believe they know about these situations. I haven't seen any action.
Norman is still working his security job. He's gun-shy to try and retire again, fearing he won't get the return on his money that he once felt he was led to expect.
You have a good day. Love you.
His $23 an hour job at the gas company is long gone. His hourly rate now is $6.75.
It's like starting over, you know. You have saved all these years and you think you're going to retire and do what you want, and then it's like now we're starting over.